Hi, Prabhu. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Herbert. Thanks for having me.
It's a great day, Prabhu, and I'm glad to have you as part of this podcast. So, industrial distribution, I think that is something that's closer to your heart, and we have been interacting a lot in the last few years. And industrial distribution is the backbone of the economy. I mean, things happen well, nobody talks about it, but when things are not going well, it gets a lot of visibility, right? And, it's been a very evolving industry in the last decade or so, I would say. So glad to have you here today to exchange thoughts and ideas, driving into your experience and what you're seeing both on the customer side of it and the supply side of it. Right. And I think it's going to be a good discussion today. We'll start with some introductions, Prabhu. And thank you for having me this morning with you. So, Herbert, and I'm from Techwave. I lead the digital engineering, digital services business for the North America region and working with customers across the globe, providing digital and AI services. But more than the technology, what makes me happy in the day is how does it impact business outcomes for customers, right? And, we're glad to have you today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me in beautiful Houston here. Wonderful weather and at the Techwave offices. Glad to be here. I know we have been interacting as a customer of Techwave for the past 2 years that I've been there at Applied. And from my experience for the past 20 years being in industrial distribution as well as in other distribution markets, glad to come and share my knowledge and wisdom on this podcast.
That's great, Prabhu. That's great. I think it's a pleasure to have you today. It's a pleasure to have you today. Taking time out of a busy schedule and spend time with us. I know the Techwave AIT relationship has been going strong for the last 3 years, and I appreciate your support for all the things that you're helping us with. We are learning from our customers day by day, right? I think that's what helps us grow as well in industry. And one of the priorities that we have is how do we take our learning from one customer to other, right? Let it be the industrial distribution or the financial services. On the industrial distribution topic, one of the things I'm thinking is where is the industrial distribution sector today, right? A lot of things has happened pre-COVID, post-COVID, a lot of changes, right? What I'm observing is it's not more of an incremental change, but more of a structural change that's happening in the sector in itself. So would love to hear your thoughts on where digital distribution is today as a sector and an industry in itself. Yes.
Glad to be here. And currently what we are experiencing on the industrial distribution market is pressures from customers trying to be more relevant, both on with the digital services where you, Techwave, are helping us meet those needs, demands from our customers to be able to be more effective, reaching out to our customers as well as enabling our customers with data, applications, or e-commerce, any of their needs that they're looking for distributors, a company like us who serves different customers, many customers with products from our vendors, manufacturers, right? So the structure on this industrial distribution has changed a lot since COVID, right? We have seen a lot of manufacturing come to a halt during COVID, along with material unavailability or unable to go to the office or go to the company and manufacture, as well as products which are back order, right? So that put a lot of pressure from COVID, because pre-COVID, there was a lot of availability. There was no problem reaching out for the demands from our customers, right? So now what we are asked to do from our customers is plan better, make sure there is availability from our manufacturers, make sure there is visibility for their product from to our customers. And these digital services, both on reporting side, both on ordering e-commerce availability as well as data that they have with us from a vendor, from a distributor like us, is what we have been asked, and it becomes table stakes on how we as a distributor stand out from our competitors.
Great points, Prabhu, right? And I'm going to pick a few things on what you said because it's very insightful and very much resonates with what the market is talking about these days. Right? So one is on the customer behaviors and their buying patterns, right? How much that has changed in the last few years, right? With the e-commerce boom, I think most of the customers are looking something different, right? What the differentiation in the market is very marginal between competitors and between companies in the same sector as you, right? So, how much of a customer buying pattern has changed or evolved in the last few years? What is your observation of being there in the?
Sure.
Yeah.
So going back to what the changes we're seeing, let's say past 5 years, let's say pre-COVID to current 2026, right? So previously on an industrial distribution market or customers, they were more of a relationship-based environment. You have good relationships. You have major industrial distributors that the manufacturing environment or the company and our customers maintain those relationships with our account managers, and that's how their buying pattern has been. Post-COVID, what we have seen is a lot of online pricing comparisons as well as online order placement became a huge growth market for us. The more customers you reach out through e-commerce or through social platforms, and you're reaching out more customers through those modes of selling power that we have, we are seeing growth in that sector as well. So you also brought up one point regarding the buying patterns, right? So what we are seeing is customers are looking into inventory management with a keener look on trying to make sure their manufacturing environment, their manufacturing processes are not interrupted with product availability that they're looking for. Consider, let's say, bearings where it is more efficient in, right? So wherever we procure those bearings, different kinds of bearings. So they're trying to maintain min-max availability for the next plan for the next 3 to 6 months. And how do we make sure that ups and downs in pricing, right? Consider tariffs, consider relationships with different countries, geopolitical environments cause interruptions in shipping, in manufacturing, in product availability. So they're trying to ask us as an industrial distributor to keep an eye out for them on product availability and make sure they get their product on time and it's available. So that's what we are being asked on. And pricing as well, right? As an example, let's say tariffs during the April season last year, right? We have gotten a huge demand on trying to beat the price increase so that they don't need to increase their or decrease their margins and increase their prices, right? So that's a place where we are asked to manage inventory better, make sure their pricing is not affected.
I think those are some great insights, Prabhu. And what is said mostly resonates in what we are observing in the market, right? You made a point on inventory management, right?
Sure.
So the customers are buying the same products. They have not changed the product suit they're buying from you, but how can they get it faster and quicker at a lower cost? And I think that seems to be the magic that's happening in the market. And I used to go to Home Depot to buy products, right?
Sure.
Now with the likes of Amazon or with the likes of other e-commerce platforms, and with curbside pickups and those kind of things, it is putting customer at the center of the equation. They're making it more easier for us to buy products, right? And where this all headed to is who provides the most best customer experience,
Absolutely.
or whose customer experience feels seamless, or it's not an experience at all. It's like something you do it really casual and making it more easier for you at the end of the day. I think they seem to have a competitive edge to the market, is what the points that you made kind of resonates with what you're seeing on that as well.
Absolutely. Right. As a customer, let's say, we are, for our personal purposes, right, take Home Depot and so on. We experience that, ease of buying a product online versus in store versus, quick shipping, right? When we are working, let's consider us working for an industrial distributor and we are in the purchasing department or we are in the, material management department, right? We expect the same from our industrial distributors, though the product might not be the same and there might be lead times. They're expecting that, hey, I need the same kind of service, as a personal customer versus an industrial customer. That becomes, what, the expectation from our customers are, in the recent 5 years.
A lot of cultural shift that you talked about, Prabhu, right?
Yes.
Being a very traditional relationship oriented industry, what we see is they're kind of observing, or they want to get the digital capabilities enabled into the overall services for the customer in itself, right? And I think that's going to provide a market edge in the overall scheme of things as well, right? We would like to hear your thoughts on your observation, you're being there and interacting with suppliers and customers on a day-to-day basis, right?
Yeah.
How are these industries embracing the digital capabilities, right? Or still it's evolving?
Yeah. So let's say, in the last 10 years, right, Applied has a lot of service centers all over the country, distribution centers all over the country as well. Customers either used to call up or go into the service center, say, I have a motor and this is what I'm looking for, whereas our CSSRs or our service center managers help them with products and matching products so that they can replace their motors or replace their bearings, belts, pipes, right? Nowadays, what they're asking us is, I don't want to make the trip to the distribution center or service center. I want to look at my product online, right? I know what I want. I know what I have. I know the replacement product, and I want to get that information online, right? Along with product descriptions, compatibility, more of images, right? All of these to be made available so that the user, the consumer, the customer can consume that product, the information online, as well as make that purchase online, right? So when they make that purchase, our job as a distributor is make sure we ship the right product, we ship it at the right time to the right place. And for us internally, we are able to invoice the customer. So those are all digital services that you as company and we as me being in IT and applications help the customer have that experience.
So trust and transparency is a lot being talked about. And what have been your observations in the market on those?
Sure. So I know till now we have talked about digital services, applications, reporting, right? AI brings in a huge opportunity for industrial distributors, right? The more we embrace AI as a helper, right, both internally and externally, right, that would be a benefit and are standing out with our from our competitors, right? So what customers are asking us is they have a manufacturing plant. There is always a wear and tear in belts, any of the industrial products. They want to are asking us to use robotics, AI, and RFID and computer vision to be able to tell them, hey, this product is at the end of life, and you buying a replacement product and scheduling a downtime, right, would help you not break the manufacturing process down to wait for a replacement product, right? So that's what's being asked both from our manufacturers as well as from our us being as distributors. So that is the way the customers become sticky. We provide that service from our automation business unit at Applied, and that helps the customer maintain their run rate, their manufacturing cycle well. And one thing you brought about is the trust and transparency,
Yes.
right? With material availability, with when you think about chip manufacturing and the unavailability of different resources, minerals in that process, and trying to find out the origin of a material inside a manufactured product. So that becomes a key point for us to maintain that visibility to the customer. We get the data from our manufacturer. It's our job as a distributor to be able to show that data to our customer, to know to follow different rules that either the governments are placing on know where your product and the material is coming from, to be able to trust and verify. So those are all become a requirement for our customers from vendors like us, right? So that becomes a selling point as well as a requirement for us to be even in the market, to be able to enable that visibility for our customers.
You touched upon a great point, Prabhu. I think this goes back to the marginal competitive advantage that exists in the market, right?
Yes.
And some of the things are regulations driven, like this, trust and transparency. Where is this product coming from? What it is made of, and those things, right? That's where the digital and AI capabilities kind of converge, right? Because AI is not a pilot anymore. It's not a POC anymore, right? It's past the hype cycle. Organizations are adopting AI at scale. Right? They want to do projects that really deliver outcomes. Right? Some customers are trying conversational AI. Some customers are trying agentic AI. But everybody wants to drive the business outcomes, right?
Yes.
And that kind of is an evolution in the last couple of years, specifically for your industry as well. Right? As you're competing with this e-commerce platforms, this big players in the market, right?
Sure.
There are opportunities for you to cross-sell, upsell, right? As you kind of go through this, because the customer is wanting more. The customer wants a better experience. They always want a white glove service, right? And it's all about what the customer experience matters. Like, any thoughts on those things?
Yes. AI becomes, as we venture and as we are in that cycle, past the POCs, past building phase ones for AICs, it becomes enabler for our organizations, because we have huge amounts of data, right? At Applied, as we look at our ERP, there are like 17 million products that we sell our customers. And what AI helps us and what we are venturing into is helping our internal service personnel, both at these service centers and distribution centers, to enable them to get up to speed, as well as use AI in conversational chatbots to help them be quick to answer customer questions, as well as learn about the products. Using a huge product database, that becomes an enabler and provide that service faster and correct responses for our customers when they need our help regarding. So that's this advantage that our company is using AI to enable our internal service personnel to be a support agent and a support person using that conversational chatbot agent for us, right? So when we look forward, so we are just starting with that conversational AI. When we look forward, as we use AI with the huge amount of data that we have from our customers, either from the orders that they have placed, the parts that they have purchased in the last 5 years, what we imagine that we can use AI is use that as a cross-sell and an upsell opportunity for our customers. We know what they have bought. We know what they are looking for, right, currently. And when we provide more opportunities for a customer to be able to use easily search as well as easily order a product and know what they're ordering, right, through either AI suggestions or chatbot or from the reporting from huge amount of data that we have, that helps make our customers happy as well as our CFO happy.
The leverage of AI, like the one thing that fascinates me always is you leverage AI to drive efficiencies, to drive outcomes, to make things faster, right? To kind of put some automation into it, but it's much beyond automation at this point of time. At the same time, have a human in the loop, right? You have a human in the loop so that you trust the model, that you trust the model. You kind of do away with the bias and other things, making sure it's transparent enough. Explainable AI is some of the things the market practices. And one thing, when I grew up, the curiosity, I always used to have this big visions, like how does it operate, how does it, and what it takes to maintain and everything. And industrial distribution is all about it, right? You provide the most critical parts for a machinery to run in the manufacturing plant or industry. And what I have come to realize is industrial distribution is not about machines. It's about people, right? It's about relationships, right? It's the impact that industrial distribution creates in the economy, about the daily people who use systems, who use services, products. Right? So that's a very big learning and kind of awareness for me in the last decade, I would say, on how industrial distribution is kind of driving the economy forward as well in the grand scheme of things.
Absolutely. One thing you brought up, growing up as a kid.
Right, I'll make it personal here. My dad had 2 excavators, right? So growing up as a kid, right, when I look at that machinery and when I look at parts in that, or when I went with him to his workplace, right, the gearboxes, the wrench and grease, all these things were fascinating. And the work that he's doing to enable irrigation for the farmers who are doing the agricultural crop produce is amazing when I look at it, right? How he enabled drains and canals and how the water flow using the machinery that he had purchased. So that drove an interest to be in that manufacturing and industrial sector for me. And one more thing I wanted to add on AI helping is when I look at scientists, right, or anyone in the healthcare sector, pharmaceutical manufacturing, and protein development, and all these are wonderful opportunities for AI to make an impact, to do the research as well as to enable AI with the knowledge that's coming into the market, helping the scientists as well.
Yeah, you touched upon a great point, Prabhu, right? So one is AI being outside of the system and processes, and embedded AI being within the systems, within the processes. I think that's where we are all headed, right? Rather than having AI as an external system providing inputs and value, applications are built with AI first approach, right? We have one of our customers where we are building a ground up application for them, and it's all AI infused, right? Your recommendations are through AI, right? Your discoveries using AI, right? So AI has become part and parcel of every digital initiative that's happening in the market, and even in the industrial distribution side of it, right? Uh, as you said, as you kind of work with the suppliers, and I go back to an example where I use HP printer at home, but I never have to order ink. You do a subscription and they send one in every month, right? Even before it looks at your consumption patterns, the amount of pages you print in a particular month, right? And it kind of evaluates what is your need, and they give it to you at a very optimal price. And they have a very good model where you can subscribe it or cancel it, right? That's where I see a lot of synergies on the industrial distribution side for similar to it as well as the suppliers and distributors and customers looking at this product, right? How can we get ahead of the game to make sure I'm informing the customer something that they will know only after something breaks or only after it happens, right? And there's a lot of synergies for AI to be leveraged in those kind of things as well. And I'm sure you as a company are thinking on these aspects as well. How do we make it better for the customers?
Yes. So one thing that comes to mind is you have seen the Amazon Go stores, right?
Yeah.
You pick up a product and walk out.
Yes.
And it charges either your credit card, it knows when the product is out of stock for it to be able to replenish. Think about it in the industrial sector. I'm in a manufacturing plant. My distributor has a stock bin that my manufacturing personnel can go in and pick stock from there for them to use. They never have to call us back to order it.
Yeah.
We have computer vision for us to be able to see how much product has been taken out, how much product was initially in there, and then we order to replenish the product. There's no person there who is monitoring. They just scan the product out and for us to be able to replenish the order. So that's what the future we are looking at, using AI, computer vision, along with software that's able to order stock, take an approval, finish the order, and restock the manufacturing plant.
Yeah.
So that would be a wonderful position to be in as well.
You touched on two key things that are market drivers for an industry like yours, Prabhu, right? Inventory management and customer efficiency. Right?
Yes.
So inventory management is always a topic of conversation with any customer that we talk to, right? How do I make sure I hold the right amount of inventory, right? In your industry, there's no spoilage because you manufacture products, you distribute products that are bearings, bolts, and nuts and those things, right? But on inventory management, how do I hold the right quantity in my inventory so that my logistics cost is optimal? Right? At the same time, how do I drive the efficiencies to the customers? You're ahead of the game in letting the customer know before what they want, even before they find out, okay, there's something I need, right? I think those are great perspectives on those two aspects of inventory management and customer efficiency. I think these things are going to be game changers in the industry as this evolves, right? Because it all goes back to being a data-driven organization, right? The companies are thinking, okay, I have my list of customers, right? I have a business model that I operate, and I know the sentiment of the market. How can I leverage data and insights to kind of help me move faster, to make decisions more seamless in the context of these things? And there may be unconscious bias in some reasoning and decisions. So to avoid all that, most of the organizations are going much into deeper data-driven decisions. And any thoughts on that, bro?
Yes. So the customers are looking to us, right, as providers for services for them. Data becomes the new goal, right? So we have been having a lot of product data as well as a lot of transactional data from customers from the past 10 years, 20 years, how long the customer has been purchasing from us, right? We know what they have purchased. We know what they're looking for. We know what time of the year, months their highest manufacturing output is, right? We know when they will be able to replenish the product, right? At the same time, keep the Department of Finance happy so that we maintain the right amount of product in their manufacturing plants and not excess, not too little, not too much, so that we can keep finances as well as the plant running well. So this data, they are looking to us, the customer is looking to us saying, use our data to serve us well, right? Right time, right amount of product, right time of delivery, and give us, we have one application in our company which takes signatures from a person who is receiving the product there, so that we know we can invoice it, right? There is some confusion with big manufacturing plants. Upwide has shipped the product, we don't see it in our plant. And either it's in the receiving dock somewhere or it's put away at a different place where they are originally looking for. So this gives us an opportunity for us to have proof of delivery is what we call. So we deliver, take signature, we bring it back into our ERP for us to be able to invoice the customer. And this data-centric customer service becomes an important part of what our service is to our customers.
Digitization. I think there's a lot of opportunities in digitization, and one of the common themes that I hear, right? One is we as a company, we are doing all the digital capabilities. They're all enabling all the digital capabilities in-house, internally, structurally, right? With an AI-driven approach, right? At some point, at the same time, how do we bring my customers, my suppliers, my distributors also in the equation? And not everybody's not the same. Yes, a few people are like ahead of the game. You will have a much better synergy with them because you are moving your digital capabilities up. They're also moving it up. So there's very good convergence point, right? There are entities, or there's going to be entities who are not much into the maturity stage of digital capability. They're still trying out things. Their business model works, right? But I see a bigger opportunity for companies like yours to kind of enable that maybe standardization, and how do we bring all this together? Because once they see the synergy and the value of the digital capabilities, whether it be cross-sell, upsell, whether it be product recommendations, that may help them to ship products well ahead of time. So a lot of digitization initiatives to start with, and coupled with digital capabilities that kind of marry and converge between the customer or company like yours and supplier distributor ecosystem is going to drive a lot of value in the market, right? At the end of the day, your customers still benefit, right? Absolutely. These processes are going to get better, faster.
Yeah. So one thing that comes to mind is we try to be in the forefront, in the cutting edge of technology in providing that service. Let's talk about reporting on the data that we have, right? Making that reporting available to the customer for them to be able to look in either for financials or either for order tracking purposes or, like you said, product recommendations for them to make their day-to-day job easier, right? That becomes third point. Some customers adapt it faster. They use that for growth as well as they use that as some kind of an advantage for them to move faster or make their manufacturing process much efficient, right? As the other customers catch up with the new technology, we serve both sectors, right? We have people on the ground at our service centers and distribution centers to be able to answer the questions that come either by phone call, email, person walking in, and requesting service, as well as all the digital capabilities that we talked about, right? Product recommendations, e-commerce, reporting, purposes, as well as now AI, but both internally as well as externally for our customers, to enable them through either conversational AI chatbots or agentic AI internally to refine our processes, make our CSR's life easier, help them to be able to do their work fast. So one thing that comes to mind, I think we have touched about it, is the visibility of product, right? Visibility of the material that is used to manufacture the product, as well as visibility about where it's manufactured, which country it's coming from, and the way that the manufacturer, whoever it is, the regulations that are being followed by the manufacturer comes into perspective that the customer is always looking for. So one thing that people ask us is, either it be chemical products that we are selling, or it be government regulated products that customers are trying to purchase, right? They want to know ins and outs of all the regulations that are followed, all the EPA regulations that are followed, or manufacturing processes, material origination, right? Where is this material coming from? All these become a source for them to be in compliance, right? With the government, with any of EPA or any of those regulators, and for us to be able to provide that data. For us internally, how we use data is a lot of regulations from government that are changing, right? Let's say a company is restricted. There are more, let's say, tariffs on one company than the other because of either competitive nature or because of them not following right practices, right? For us to be able to restrict that customer from doing business with us, right? It becomes regulated, and for the government to penalize us if we don't follow those practices, right? So we call that restricted party system, where we monitor government regulations and the companies that we can do business with, the companies that we should not do business with, and it becomes a requirement for us. And we use data from either purchase data or for our internal purposes from our ERP, for us to be able to match those two and see which customers are restricted, which customers are okay to do business with. Similar to banking, right? Know your customer kind of model. On ESG as well as sustainability, right? Our customers are asking us, what's your thought process or what's your score on sustainability, ESG, as well as will you provide, you're the distributor where I brought the product from, and will you provide a way for me to dispose this product in a sustainable manner, right? In my previous life, if there were computers or something that we have sold, we used to have a product or a service for them to be able to dispose that electronics in a safe manner. In the same way, in the current industrial distribution sector, when there's a purchase made, let's say, chemical product, right? Customers are asking us, do you provide us a safe way to dispose this chemical after we have consumed it or used it? And that stands us apart, stands our company out from other distributors, saying, we not only sold your product, now we are providing a way for you to safely dispose of it, right? That becomes more and more customers are asking, manufacturing plants are asking. It makes their life easier dealing with one industrial distributor than one for purchasing, one for disposition, and trying to keep one vendor, one distributor in the loop and doing business with them.
So industrial distribution and the industry in itself, right? Distribution is a moves things, right? So for the economy to move, distribution moves things from place A to place B, right? That it distributes across the market and the region, right? Where is it headed in the next 3 to 5 years? Like, what does the journey look like for an industrial distribution company like yours with all the changes that's going on in the market, the geopolitical situations, the innovations that are happening, and a lot of talk on AI as well. So, where do you think the next 3 to 5 years?
Sure. So as we try to grow manufacturing in the United States, customers are looking to us to be more nimble, right? As more geopolitical regulations and as more product availability scenarios come into the picture, they're looking to us, customers are looking to us to be more nimble. First thing, we should be the ones providing that service to the customer, following all the regulations as well as make sure there's availability. The second thing customers are looking to us is be in the forefront of following best practices as well as using technology to help them make sure that the plant is running smooth as well as without any downtime, right? That comes back to monitoring robotics, anything related to wear and tear of the product. They're looking to us say, do you have a way for us to get to monitor what you sold us or what the plant, the industry is using, right? So those are the two things we'll see more pressure for. On the pricing side of it, obviously, competition is always reinventing at a faster rate, right? How do you make our pricing? How do we make our customers' pricing more enabling so that we are staying competitive, as well as the products that we are selling our customers? How do we expand on it? At the same time, delivery, tracking and delivery becomes a huge point in satisfying our customers' needs, right? They want to know where the product is, thus they purchase it, when is it reaching to their manufacturing plant, where is it currently, and how fast can I receive it? So availability as well as shipping times, lead times would also benefit the standard. As we think about what has happened, we talked about in the past 5 years, going forward, in the next 3 years, using AI will be more drastic changes, faster adoption, and we are curious to learn as well as be on the forefront. And that's where Techwave comes into picture, is enabling us as a customer, as an industrial distributor, and a customer for Techwave, to enable us to be that competitive market, right? So both with your digital scenarios and digital experience, as well as in that AI experience, as well as you serve more customers, you bring that knowledge back to us and to all your customers as well. As you learn more, we get to be taking the advantage from your knowledge and from your advice, and keeps us more relevant, competitive, to be able to serve our customers. And I want to say thank you. As you grow and you learn more, you help us grow and be competitive and effective in our markets.
Absolutely, Prabhu. We are in this journey together, and we as Techwave couldn't be more happier than how the last 3 years has panned out. We are right in the middle of the AI evolution, I would say. And one of the cultures that we practice is we learn from our customers, we help our customers, and take it to the broader audience to make sure everybody's getting benefited out of it. Right? I think there's no point in bottling up innovation. Right? There's no point in bottling up your learnings, but rather share, learn, and expand. Right? So those are some of the cultures that we practice. And I know you have the same objectives on your end as well. So I think the next 3 years is going to be great, both for the industry and our partnership journey as well. And I'm going to have a similar podcast with you in probably 2 years' time,
Sure.
with more topics to discuss and how we have evolved. Right, when we looked at this podcast back in 2 years' time, wow, how much you've come! And I'm pretty positive that's the everlasting impact it's going to live with all of us. But couldn't wait for it, Prabhu. But thank you for taking the time to join me in this conversation. Really loved your ideas, thoughts. It's a very enriching and refreshing experience, I would say. Thank you, Prabhu.